Extraordinary Podcast, and I'm your host, Nate G. Man, Season 3 went by even faster than the last two. I want to thank all of you for listening and all the support that we received over the course of the past season. This was by far my toughest season to date. We really struggled in some areas that I thought we had nailed down. Some guests I thought were going to be easy didn't work out. And we really lost our momentum with the video production. But on the positive side, we continued to create a lot of new content and have some really extraordinary guests coming up in Season 4. Entrepreneurs who've made it big, doctors and inventors, artists, and small business owners trying to adapt to an ever-evolving economy. And as we continue to evolve and add to our team, we are expanding our production into more video-based content to go along with the podcast. We will also have our first remote guest this season in both formats as well. And at the same time, we've been frantically finalizing our free personal development plan, 8 Keys to Great. This free online self-help program gives you all the information and tools to create your own lifestyle by design. Visit 8keystogreat.com and start creating your free set of plans today. And on that note, this episode walks you through exactly how to do that. Like I said at the end of last season, each season finale I will present one of the 8 keys. Last season finale was the first key, Dream Big. So if you haven't already, make sure you listen to that episode or maybe go back and listen to it again. In that episode, we spent some time dreaming about the things that we want and thinking about the time frames we hope to get them. Now that we have that figured out, and more importantly, written down, this episode picks up on how to go about getting the things on that list. How to draft a set of plans to get you there. So get out your journal or go to 8keystogreat.com and download the free PDF file to start creating your personalized blueprint to success. Creating your blueprint. We ended Season 2 with a process to determine what we want. All the dreams and ideals that we are prepared to work hard and sacrifice for. It wasn't as easy as expected. And isn't it interesting how easily we know what we don't want, and yet how hard it can be to determine what we actually do want? But now that we've figured that out, it's time to figure out how we're going to get these things that we want out of life. We've got to have some kind of a plan. In order to build your dream home, you need a set of blueprints. And in order to manifest your dream life, you will need a set of plans just as detailed. When drafting the blueprints for your dream home, you don't just have one picture, one perspective. You will have multiple views, multiple pages that show different aspects or details. The electrical plan, the water lines and plumbing prints, the views of the foundation and roofline, even the landscaping all around it. All these different pages represent different aspects of what it will take to build exactly what you want. Well, writing out your goals serves that same purpose. Establishing goals for different areas of your life will create that same level of detail so you will know exactly what it will take to craft your ideal lifestyle. Just the act of writing these initial goals will set you up on a path to creating that lifestyle that you've always dreamed about. The only way to hit the target is to know where to aim. Based on where you want to end up, what are some of the goals you can set that will help you get there? What are some of the things that you could work on, physically, personally, or professionally, that will help you get the things you're asking for? What would improving your overall health and wellness do towards helping you achieve your long-term plans? What talents and gifts do you have that you're not using to the fullest? What annoying trait or characteristic could you work on to reduce or eliminate? Take some time and consider your goals for each of these following areas. First is personal. Personal goals are about relationships, spiritual development, mindfulness, or Stoic principles like recognizing the ego. Next, professional goals. Professional goals are pretty self-explanatory, but can be broken down even further into the job that you have, the career or position that you want, and overall skills development. And last, health and wellness goals. These goals are all centered around nutrition, strength and conditioning, or mobility and flexibility. Now think about what these goals would look like for different time frames. What would you like to accomplish in each of these areas over the next 10 years, 5, or even 1? Take some time to write 3 goals for each category for each of those 3 time frames, starting with the longest. Once you have broken down these long-term goals and time frames, it's time to get down to the specifics, the nitty-gritty. The small daily things that you can start to do now that will move you towards these bigger goals. Break down the next 90 days. Super basic, super simple. What are you willing to do differently, or at least try, that would make some small incremental change in your physical, personal, or professional life? Write out each version. Take your time and really think about what these goals should be. And don't be upset as they change and evolve. They most surely will. Once you start heading where you want to go, you will continue to figure out the best way to get there. Knowing the things that you want and the kind of lifestyle that you want to have, you'll begin to find ways to create a life that supports it. Most of us think that the only way to get the things we want out of life is to earn a lot of money and buy them. But there are so many other ways to craft the lifestyle that we want. Spend some time thinking about the ways that you can get what you want that don't involve money, like the story of the banker and the fisherman. An American investment banker was taking a much-needed vacation in a small coastal village when a small boat with just one fisherman docked. The boat had several large fish in it. The investment banker was impressed by the quality of the fish and asked the Mexican how long it took to catch them. The Mexican replied, "Only a little while." The banker then asked why he didn't stay out longer and catch more fish. The Mexican fisherman replied that he had enough to support his family and his immediate needs. The American then asked, "But what do you do with the rest of your time?" The Mexican fisherman replied, "I sleep late, fish a little, play with my children, take a siesta with my wife, stroll into the village each evening where I sip wine, play guitar with my amigos. I have a full and busy life, senor." The investment banker scoffed. "I am an Ivy League MBA, and I could help you. You could spend more time fishing with the proceeds, buy a bigger boat. With the proceeds from this bigger boat, you could buy several boats, until eventually you could have a whole fleet of fishing boats. Instead of selling your catch to the middleman, you could sell directly to the processor, eventually opening your own cannery. You can control the product, processing, and distribution." He then added, "Of course, you will need to leave this small coastal fishing village and move to Mexico City where you can run your growing enterprise." The Mexican fisherman asked, "But, senor, how long will this take?" To which the American replied, 15 to 20 years. "But what then?" asked the Mexican. The American laughed and said, "Well, that's the best part. When the time is right, you will announce an IPO and sell your company stock to the public and become very rich. You could make millions." "Millions, senor? Then what?" To which the investment banker replied, "Then you would retire. You could move to a small coastal fishing village where you would sleep late, fish a little, play with your kids, take a siesta with your wife, stroll to the village in the evenings where you could sip wine and play guitar with your amigos." Creating a lifestyle that you love may not necessarily require a lot of money, but it will take time, patience, creativity, and imagination. And most importantly, a willingness to go for it. So many people dream small, think short term, and have limiting mindsets that make so many things seem out of reach or impossible to achieve. But I'm telling you, these things can happen for you. You don't have to have it all figured out. Just continue to work, taking small, consistent steps in the right direction. The opportunities will present themselves so that you can create that life. If you want to spend your time traveling the world, there are ways to do that now. Well, I have kids and responsibilities. So what? Why can't they join you? What better education than experiencing the world? What better place to learn Spanish than Spain? What better place to learn about physics than visiting CERN? There are so many ways that you can have the things that you want. But first you must ask, and when you do, you have to be willing to work for them. But if you follow the process and be patient, you will get the results. This is how you start to create your personal set of plans. Your personal set of plans. Now that you have established your goals and your blueprint, let's look at the first page of details, the foundation. Start at the base. Begin at the bottom. What does your foundation page look like? These are your core values, your morals. How you lay out your foundation and what you stand for will forever impact the rest of your structure. How everything else will fall into place in the future. Without a solid principled foundation, you will struggle to build your dream house or your dream life. Take some time and consider the following question. What are 3 values that you will not compromise that will help you on this journey? The next page is framing, the structure. This page of your blueprint is the basic layout of what you want to achieve. It's the outline. As you develop this page, you are making sure that you have the right rooms in the right places. Begin to lay out your vision. This can be your daily habits. It's how you begin to shape your routines. The life you want doesn't look like the life you have now. So you have to start to change it. And the best way to do that is through minor modifications in behavior. Replacing bad habits with good ones. Attaching new habits to existing ones. Modifying the routine. Finding better ways. Being open to better ways, new information, or experiences. Are there behaviors or patterns in your life that are keeping you from realizing your plan? Write down 3 daily behaviors or patterns that you could modify today that would help you meet your goals. Now you've got the mechanicals. These pages of your blueprint tell you where to run the water and electrical lines, vents, and ductwork throughout the home. All these systems must be in place or else the home will not function effectively or efficiently. The same holds true with your lifestyle. Without the correct and necessary habits and behaviors, your life will not function at its highest capacity. Think about these steps like systems or patterns of behavior. Creating small steps and habits in areas like diet, exercise, and meditation are necessary. Doing the little things matters. What are 3 small incremental changes that you can make in each of these areas to incorporate into your plan? The last few pages of the blueprints are the reliefs, the different views. Exterior profiles, land lots, and landscaping. These pages of your blueprint serve to crystallize your vision, your whys. Spend some time with each of the goals you've created and ask yourself why you want these things. Who are you doing this for? The more you can clearly define your why, the more determined you will be. Knowing your why will drive the little daily details that you do to make your business and life successful. Allotting specific times for emails and limiting their time. Scheduling time with family and friends. Refining business practices to improve your product or service. These are also the ways that you teach your employees and how you develop those around you. Once you have your blueprint, now you're ready to get started. And as you do, it's important to remember that the blueprints are the overarching dream and vision. There are going to be notes, modifications, tweaks, and improvements made all over every page. But the overall vision remains the same. The finished product, that dream home, will remain as a constant reminder of the goal and why you're doing everything that you do. Good luck drafting your plans at 8keystogreat.com. I'm your host, Nate G., and we'll see you next week. Hey y'all, thanks for listening. So what'd you think? What did I miss? Anything that you wanted to hear that I didn't cover? What do you want to know more about? Who would you like to see on the show? Hit us up on social media and tell me what you think. Check us out on iTunes and please leave a review. We're now on Patreon and your support there helps let us know we're headed in the right direction. We have a lot of exciting new things coming, fascinating guests, and some of the craziest stories you won't believe. So stay in the loop and check out more great content by subscribing at our website, 8keystogreat.com. Special thanks to my guests and all those of you living an extraordinary life. This is Nate G. We'll see you next week.